Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the latest edition of the Woke Bros, of course. I'm your host, Big Waz, aka Wosny Lambre, man, and I'm happy to be back with you guys. Another episode, man. It's been a kind of crazy week of news. I'm not gonna hold you. Um, just to get election stuff out the way, like I told y'all I'm checking out of the horse race. It's kind of ridiculous. It's like you'll get one poster to be like, well, Kamala's looking pretty good in the early voting tally, blah, blah, blah. Then another fucking poll watching reporter, journalist type would be like, well, in the past, early vote has not been very predictive. like, like you'll get one piece of information, and then very soon after, it'd be like, well, that information isn't very, authoritative, right? And so I told you I'm done with the horse race. I played a little practical joke on a few of my followers or a few of my homies on Instagram and the close friends today. Because I actually still vote in New York, actually in Nassau County. Um, and um, and I sent in my mail-in ballot, and I took a picture of the ballot, and the caption said, "One vote for MAGA Part 2 coming up." I don't know why that cracked me up. I'm sorry. I laughed at myself, yeah, because people were fucking pissed. People were so upset. They were like, "We don't have time for your silly jokes and your trolling, Wosny." And I'm like, "I know, but still, it's kind of funny, at least." Um. Anyway, uh, yeah. So I wanted to get into a couple of things, man. First thing, this CNN clip has made the news. Jesus, the Twitter account that the ACYN at ACYN Twitter account. This video has 68 views and it came out 2 days ago. 68 million views and it came out 2 days ago. Um, so it's a clip of this CNN panel on CNN Newsnight. They have six people on this panel, including the host, which is a recipe for disaster, but it's what CNN wants. They want this dialogue, they want fiery exchanges, they want left and right. Like that's the point of these talking head shows, is to get people arguing and talking on both sides of the issue. And Mehdi Hassan, who he's a big dog in left media circles. He started his own company, Zateo, used to be at MSNBC. I think he used to work at Al Jazeera. UK guy, British guy, Indian guy, Muslim guy. However, he's an American citizen now. He lives out here and he does all of his work from America. So he's super mega invested in American politics, and he's super mega invested on the plight of the Palestinian people. That's just one of his bags. And he's up here with four other people as panelists, and then of course the one co-host. So that's six people total. And the idea is that there's supposed to be a right-left sort of divide. Liberals, Medi's. I can say pretty confidently that Medi's a leftist, not just your standard lib. And they just have this crazy exchange. Now, one of the dudes that's on this exchange is a guy named Ryan Girdusky, who happens to be a guy that I went to high school with. We were in the same graduating class at St. Francis Prep. I don't want to say I knew him well, but he was friends with a lot of girls that I knew, quite frankly. And always had nice interactions with him, but I guess what he's started like professionally now, he's like a right-wing sort of shit stir. He's I guess he used to write speeches for Richard Spencer, who famously was like a neo-Nazi. He's kind of reformed now. I don't know what he's doing now. I guess Ryan had a Proud Boys moment or whatever, and he's just a MAGA right-wing shit stir now on CNN, or that was his bag. And it's just been surreal for me because, like, in high school he didn't have this beard. He didn't really talk like this, to be honest with you. He had a much different affect than how he talked in high school. Um, So it's just been surreal to watch, and it's been making its way around my own personal group chats. Because all the people that I know that also know him, like, have you seen this shit? Like, have you seen how unhinged he is? So I set up the basic thing, and let's, Jerv, let me play this video now. Again, this is a CNN panel, right, left. They're talking about Israel, and their war against Hamas, Hezbollah, and Iran. Here we go. Hold on, let me maximize this thing. All right, here we go.
If you don't want to be called Nazis, stop doing.
You're called an anti-Semite more than anyone else's table.
Yeah.
And people sit there and no, by me, I never called you an anti-Semite. Okay. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying
I'm a supporter of the Palestinians. I'm used to it.
Yeah, I hope your beeper doesn't go off. The thing is that
you just say I should die.
You should not.
No, I should just say
no. Okay. Okay, so the like, oh my god, this is so ridiculous. Mehdi is just like so used to people calling him anti-Semite because of his stance of being pro, freedom for the Palestinian people. And Ryan is just like, no, like, we get it. You've been called an anti-Semite more than anybody. I'm not calling you that, whatever. And so Mehdi then says, I'm used to it because I'm in support of the Palestinian people. And Ryan, the first thing that he says is, well, I hope your beeper doesn't go off. This, of course, is a reference to, if you don't know, and I'm sure a lot of you guys already know, but the freaking Israelis had this covert operation where they infiltrated the beepers that people in Hezbollah in Lebanon use to communicate. Okay, like, this is important. This is important about this whole exchange because that attack was on Hezbollah, Lebanese cats. Ryan is talking about being pro-Palestine. Excuse me. Mehdi is talking about being pro-Palestine. Ryan is pro-Palestine, and to him, Hezbollah, the Palestinians, Hamas, they're all the same thing. They're all people worthy of contempt. They're all people that deserve to die. They're all people that deserve what's coming to them. So he makes a snide joke. He makes a snide joke about people, like, and I'm not making a one-to-one comparison, but like, nobody would make a joke about October 7th to people who are pro-Israel and mega Zionists. Nobody would make a joke and be like, well, good thing you weren't at that music festival. Nobody would do that. And if they did, they would rightfully be fucking killed for it. Like, I mean, like, metaphorically, not literally. So Ryan is just showing his contempt for all of these folks, his inability to separate out the different factions in different groups, meaning Palestinian non-combatants, Hamas, who call themselves, basically the resistance force of the Palestinian people, and Hezbollah and Lebanese people, Lebanese non-combatants, and like, he makes no distinction. And of course, so whatever, it's bad enough he can't make the distinction, but then they like make the little snide joke like, oh, you're lucky you didn't have your beeper. Again, to get back to that operation that Israel did, these Hezbollah guys are like, yo, we can't use cell phones to communicate. Let's get on, these beepers. Okay, cool. Israel finds out about the beepers. It's like public knowledge, but finds a way to infiltrate the source that they get the beepers from. End up one day, like, a few weeks ago, like setting them up, rigging them to detonate via remote control. And they blew up a bunch of these beepers. They killed a few Hezbollah fighters, but in the process killed like little kids, people at the grocery store, like, bunch of civilians got killed in the process of this. Which, again, I'm not making this argument, but there are people that would make the argument that, like, yeah, well, the fucking Hamas dudes on October 7th killed a bunch of Israeli soldiers. They killed like 500 or something like that. I forget the exact number. In the 1,200 that were killed. So, like, the rest of the civilians that died, whatever. You shouldn't be in the IDF. You should never be near somebody who's in the IDF. Like, just stupid work. Nobody would ever say that shit. We would just be like, yo, a bunch of civilians died over the course of what y'all calling some military action. It's fucked up, and we don't think you should do it. That's it. It's like whatever. But Ryan is just like, yo, nah, fuck that. The beeper thing was great. And if you think the Palestinians is like literally, he's just saying like all Palestinians are Hamas or Hezbollah, or we don't need to make the distinction. All these brown people deserve what they're getting. They deserve the fucking carnage. They deserve to die. Anyway, the interview goes. This shit went crazy. Yeah, I gotta show y'all the rest of this.
Should be killed.
No, I did not say that. I said, no, I did not say that.
Hold on.
Did your guest just say
No,
I
I
should be
did
killed?
not.
You see Ryan copping, please? No, I did not know. I immediately doesn't have the courage of his convictions. No, of course not. I don't know. No, I did not say
On
that.
live TV.
I said I hope
Guys,
you
let me just stop.
You said you
Let
hope
me-
my beeper
Beeper
doesn't
doesn't
go
go
off.
off.
She's not
Stop
being
that right
supportive
now.
Of the Palestinians.
of Hamas.
Guys, let me
You see that? Mehdi, shouts to Mehdi because like he's so good at this. He was born to do this job, to be representing a side of an issue on CNN on these talking head shows. I don't think, like, to be honest with you, I think CNN is crap. I think MSNBC is pretty much 95% crap. I don't think voters get a lot, like citizens get a lot in terms of what's happening in the news and how they should feel about it from these news products. I like that's just my opinion. I think you guys would be much better served like fucking with Crystal and Sagar and them over at Breaking Points. I think Anna and Jank do a good job at TYT. I'm biased, of course. I work with them, but like, bruh, CNN is a mess. This show is a mess. But yeah, Ryan just like he didn't realize what he just stepped into, and Mehdi immediately was like, "This motherfucker said I should be killed. He said I should die." Just because I support freedom for these folks. Oh my God.
Are you?
Am I what? No, of course I'm
And like, are you? Like, bruh, it's just obvious. It's like if you're Palestinian, you're Hamas too. There's no distinction. Even if you're 3 years old, even if you're an old lady, even if you're completely helpless, defenseless, you're fucking Hamas. You're a terrorist. You're a problem, and you deserve to die. That's the attitude of these folks. Just see it. Like he hears when he hears the word Palestinian, he hears terrorism. That's what he hears. And he got crossways talking slick. It's crazy.
not.
Ryan,
Then
or not.
I apologize.
Are you a
Ryan.
Then
racist,
I
violent
apologize.
person
Then I
inciting
apologize.
violence against
Ryan.
I'm sorry, Mehdi cracks me up. Hold on, we gotta bring that back. Just look at Mehdi's face as he delivers that line. Blow it up, Jer.
Then I
Are
apologize.
you a
Ryan.
racist,
Then I
violent
apologize.
person
Then I
inciting
apologize.
violence against
Ryan, that is completely.
Then I apologize.
Good
That
job,
is
CNN. Let's
completely
have first
out
block
of
say the
pocket.
Muslim guy
You
should
know
be
that.
blown
Then I
up.
apologize.
Yes, let's have first block say the Muslim guy should be blown up. Oh, I love it.
On
Then I
TV.
apologize.
Don't
Then I
say
apologize.
then I
Wow.
apologize. You literally.
I thought he said
accused
Hamas.
him.
I
You didn't think
apologize.
I said
No,
Hamas.
no,
I
you
said I
didn't.
supported
Yes, I did.
Palestinian
Yes, I
rights.
did.
Why? Because when
And
you hear
what's funny
Palestinian,
is
you
Rudy
hear
Giuliani said this
No,
yesterday,
because-
so you're a great guest
Listen.
to be here
All
to
right,
defend
I
Rudy
told
Giuliani.
myself
Give me
I
one-
wasn't going to
give me-
entertain
give me one
nonsense
second.
today, and so at this
This
point,
is what we're in
I
now.
can't
This
do
is America in
Okay.
Here's
2024.
what I will say.
Forget the
Here's what I-
racism.
That's
It's
right.
I should
That's
die.
right.
Look at that. Look at that face. Look at that face. That is just great. That is great. Look at his face. I should die. Oh, and look, here's the thing too. And the second part of this vid is important too. Like, I think Mehdi has a right to be indignant. He has the right to react how he's reacting right here in the moment. But like this, I don't know this lady, this black lady. This is just liberal hand wringing that nobody gives a fuck that's coming up. And I just like this kid, Ryan said some stupid shit. He's banned from CNN. We can move on with our lives, bro. Like nobody got hurt, nobody died, blah, blah, blah. Like we get it. He was bad at being a guest. He's done. Kick him off. You got to find a right winger who won't threaten people, say to people, you should die for your views. Somebody should come and blow your ass up for your views. Okay, cool. Seeing it, but like this liberal indignation, yeah, it's tough for me.
That's-
Go ahead.
that-
You
should
said,
die.
what does beeper mean? Don't give me a
I
fake
did not say you should
Guys,
die.
Why did you say
guys,
with my
give me-
beeper?
give me a-
No.
So what did you mean?
What did you mean by the beeper?
So what did you mean?
What did you mean by the
No,
beeper? No, you didn't. You said, I hope your
Listen,
beeper
but
doesn't
like,
go off.
Ryan, stop talking.
At least
sorry.
have the guts to
I'm
support your
so
racist
sorry.
comment.
Hang
I'm
on.
so sorry.
bring it back.
This is
Hang on.
why yesterday's rally
Yeah.
was disgusting.
Don't call us Nazis, but I'm going to
outrageous.
threaten the brown guy as a
This is
terrorist
why,
and kill him.
Because I didn't ever say Donald Trump was Hitler.
Man.
But do you know who stood on a stage yesterday and said, I want to come to the Nazi rally? I don't have to make up words and call you something. You're saying it for yourself. And what you just said
Kamala
right
Harris
here,
is a pimp.
apologize, but I will tell you, I don't accept that apology. And you didn't even
That's
say it
fine.
to
I
me.
didn't say-
That-
I don't accept that apology, and you didn't even address it to me. Okay. All right, Jared, we're done with this video. But like, listen. Yeah, like we don't need to like her thing right there is like, yo, you came at a minority with some racist terrorists in your window. Like, we don't do that. We don't do that rhetoric. That part we don't need. Mehdi's indignation is perfect. It's like, really, dude? For real? You saying I should die right here on CNN? That's crazy. That's good. That's all we need. We didn't need the extra. The extras was extra, y'all. We didn't need that. Maybe y'all disagree with me, but we didn't need that. I certainly didn't need that. But I just wanted to do that clip because like that clip felt personal to me. Like I met this kid when I was 14, 4 years of St. Francis Prep with him. And it's so funny, man, that I think a lot of my cohort are coming to the realization of, especially people that I went to high school with. Because our little high school, I'm not going to lie, our little corner of Fresh Meadows, Queens was like a little racial utopia in many ways. All of these brown kids, black kids, Korean kids, Chinese kids, Italian kids, Polish kids, Greek kids, Puerto Rican kids, Colombian kids. All of these kids hanging out, playing sports, dating, all of that. Freaking drama club together, all of that shit. It was like a little fake racist utopia, I swear to God. And like a lot of the homies that hit me about this, like, damn, like, how could Ryan be like a frothing at the mouth right winger? And like, what people got to understand, dog, for real, because Ryan's not the only right winger high school homie of mine. Like a lot of the native white New Yorker, and I've told y'all this on the show before, a lot of them are right wingers. And a lot of them have been nothing but gracious and nice to me and like been great people to me. And I would assume, man, if you asked them like, yo, Woz, my nigga Derek Oakley, Boss, these guys are exceptions to the rule, right? No, those are my guys. I'm not talking about them. I'm not talking about their families that raised them when we want to deport every single immigrant in the freaking country. No, not them. The rest of them. No, those guys are great. Their families are great. Like I'm just pretty sure that's how they would justify it, man. Like, I don't know. Because like, the people that reached out to me, they're just kind of like, man, like we didn't deal with none of this shit when we were kids. And like, nobody was like doing it. Everybody was cool. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. But like, we were in a kind of elite space with these folks. You know what I'm saying? And so like, it was whatever. And whatever. I'm not surprised by this because like I lost my innocence on this 2008 when I seen the amount of people that was pissed off about Barry. And then in 2016, again, the amount of people that on my timeline had like Trump joints up there. I was getting into fights with people in Facebook comments. It was crazy. I lost religion a long time about this, first of all, I'm not of the belief that we need a racial utopia to have great lives in America. I think maybe I'm by myself in this. I don't think we need every white person on the planet to have some crazy level of racial clarity. I don't actually feel that in their heart. But two, I like that's not what it is. We're not gonna have a bunch of, like racially enlightened people. Like it is what it is, but I don't think it's like necessary actually for us to get the things that we need done. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this shit cracked me up, bruh. I want to get to one more joint, Jerv. I'm gonna pull up the Bezos Washington Post joint real quick. Just give me a second here. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Here we go. All right. Stop share. Sorry, y'all. Just pulling this up. Yeah, Jerv. I want to get this up here. Over 200,000 subscribers flee the post after Bezos blocks Kamala Harris endorsement. Okay, so the Washington Post has been rocked by a tidal wave of cancellations from digital subscribers and a series of resignations from columnists as the paper grapples with the fallout of owner Jeff Bezos' decision to block an endorsement of Vice President Kamala Harris for president. More than 200,000 people had canceled their digital subscriptions by midday Monday, according to two people at the paper with knowledge of internal matters. Not all cancellations take effect immediately. Still, the figure represents about 8% of the paper's paid circulation of roughly 2.5 million subscribers, which includes print as well. The number of cancellations continued Monday afternoon. A corporate spokesperson declined comment, whatever. It's a big number, blah, 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 whatever. Bezos came out and said, I don't, my position as owner of the paper is a weird one because I have all these business tentacles, but I'm not always directly involved. And we didn't want to endorse because we don't want to be political and blah, 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 blah. The reason why I think this story is important, y'all, is because I think it's important to understand how power works. Like, we don't need to think like everybody's scheming in the back room somewhere, smoking cigars and like laughing at how they're going to crush the poor. It doesn't have to work that way. Like, Bezos owns a paper. Also, it's important for people to know billions upon billions upon billions of federal contracts. This is government money that his companies receive. And guess what? He's not about to rock the boat. Like, I own this paper. We don't have to endorse Kamala Harris. If Trump somehow manages to get in there and it looks like he has a good enough chance to do that, I'm not stepping in front of, no, we're not doing this. Endorse, mess around, that dude win. He already tried to, his first administration, Trump tried to block an Amazon deal from going through, 100%. He put his thumb on the scale to stop an Amazon deal from coming through. But it's just like, this is how power works. Bezos has, interests, and he's protecting it. That's it. This is how class works. He don't have no political, he loves Trump or he loves, no. They don't give a damn about that. This guy has hundreds of billions with a B on the line, man. Okay? And so that's what he did. And then, that gets to the problems with having these sugar daddies as the benefactors of huge media institutions. It's not good to have one billionaire be, the owner of what is probably, I would say, the second most prestigious media outlet in America, man. It's probably the Washington Post, historically. Woodward and Bernstein and all that shit. So for that to be owned by one guy, that's not good. It's not good. Bernie said it. Bernie Ben said that about the Post, like, yo. And, and again, it's not good for obvious reasons. And then, the subscribers that are leaving, I've seen a lot of shit on Twitter where, a a lot of people like, no, these are good journalism jobs and yada yada yada, and I'm sympathetic to that. But what I will say is that, like, yo, and some of you guys might notice, some of you guys might not. Dirty little secret about the Trump presidency. Liberal rags got paid. Oh my God. MSNBC record viewership. Rachel Maddow with her Russiagate shit. Oh my Lord. Record viewership across the board for MSNBC. New York Times subscriptions skyrocket. Freaking Washington Post, same thing. Like, they branded themselves as the resistance. Democracy dies in the dark, yada, yada, yada. Like, bro, they got paid. They got paid off of the Trump presidency. So if you amassed this large viewership, or however you want to categorize the size of their viewership, but a lot of the people that were there to hear this Trump hate, to hate on Trump, to be the resistance. You know, anybody, any Republican who had a bad thing to say about Trump could get a column. You know, Jennifer Rubin, oh my God. Like, any Republican that has, like, bro, they Washington Post was your home. So, like, the people who paid for that, for you to turn around and be like, yo, nah, just kidding. You can't do that. You can't do that. Like, yes, I'm sensitive to the jobs, man, and the people over there. Like, yeah, I want people to have good jobs in media for Showski. But at the same time, bro, like, this is what y'all sold these people on. You know, this concept that you were part of the resistance. You know, like, you made this bed in a lot of ways. And, like, we got to keep it 1,000. We got to keep it a stack. And so, yeah, man, it was big news when he stepped in and didn't do it. And let's keep it 1,000. Like, no Washington Post endorsement of a president is gonna sway anybody, bruh. Like, come on. This shit, it doesn't mean anything for the Washington Post, especially not in, maybe if it was a Democratic primary, I'd be like, oh shit, okay. But, like, Trump versus like, on what planet were they gonna endorse Trump? Like, that was never going to happen. Never gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's just, that was a big story. And then, you know, of course, the loss of the subscribers just had some hammering. And again, man, like, I been stopped being a subscriber to the Washington Post. I just found that, like, this shit just wasn't that good. I pay enough for the freaking Times. Like, that's good enough if I'm gonna do one of these mainstream rags, you know. I like, even like someplace like the New Yorker, which, you know, their circulation is nowhere close to the Times or anything like that. But, like, outside of my man Jay Kang, I don't read their political commentary. Like, it's liberal bullshit. You know, like, I don't read the Atlantic. I'm good. We know what they're gonna say when they're gonna say it. Like, again, I would advise you guys, man, to rock with some independent media, man. You know, get some independent media up here. And I'm not just saying that because Count the Dings is independent. You know what I'm saying? Like, or listener funded. But, man, these corporate outfits, boy, like, again, you're at the whims of a Jeff Bezos. Think about that. Think about how he could put his thumbs on the scales, and what are his interests? How can his interests possibly align with the average worker at an Amazon factory? They just don't. They're diametrically opposed from one another. And he owns a paper that's covering these same issues. I mean, like, this shit ain't even rocket science, folks. You know, I think the Times does good work, but, like, at the same, the Times can be horrible at times. But they employ plenty of people, and they put out they pay for a lot of great reporting. You know, some of the places they pay to send people to be on the ground, to get good information. Like, they do good shit, but like, trust me, yo, like the mainstream shit, it gets crazy. It gets spooky, y'all. It really does. Anyway, man, the next time I do a show, I guess we'll have a new president of the United States of America next week, which is just wild to even consider. Shouts to everybody that locked in with us on the live stream. Shouts to everybody, listening to us on a podcast. Make sure you become a Count the Dings Patreon subscriber at patreon.com/Count the Dings. Shouts to my man John Gervais keeping the trains running on time. We will see you guys next week. Wrapping up the election. Peace.